Okay.
All
Do
right,
we have
thank
any
you.
introductions, Bob, that we want to make, or just call the meeting to order?
Jay, do you want to maybe introduce Shannon or?
Sure. So Shannon Rivera is our new board coordinator. So she'll be assisting you guys, taking minutes, and being your point of contact for the meetings. So Shannon, you're welcome to give yourself an introduction. Hopefully you can hear us.
I show her mic being muted.
Yeah, she's muted. There she is.
Good morning, Shannon. I'm Bob. I'm Bob Kuzmich.
She may still be having speaker issues.
You send a chat.
Oh, okay. So we can hear her, but seems like she can't hear us. Shannon still can't hear us, which will make it very difficult for her to take minutes.
Yeah.
Give me one more moment. I apologize. Try and help her resolve this. I apologize for the delay. She's doing a reboot. We can hear each other on Teams just fine, but for some reason she wasn't getting the audio from Zoom. And hopefully this will resolve her issue. If it doesn't, Erin has offered to take minutes. Thank you, Erin. For those who haven't met Erin, she's the commissioner's assistant. Thank you, Erin.
Hello. Sure.
Hello.
Just trolling the meeting anyway. So let me know if you need me.
Hi, Erin.
Hi.
And also, this is Cynthia. I don't know if you all have met Shamika Groves yet. She's one of the paralegals that recently joined the team. Shamika, if you want to just introduce yourself quickly.
Hi, good morning. Yes, I'm the new paralegal with DCT Op Pro Division.
Can you put some faces on so we know who we're talking?
Yes, I am trying to get to that now. Hold on.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi,
Shamika.
Shamika.
Hi,
Hey
Erin.
there. Hi.
Hi, Erin.
Hello.
Hi.
And hi, everybody. I'm
Hi.
Ryan
Hi, Ryan.
Burns.
Hi, Ryan.
I'm also an attorney over here in the legal division that's going to be dealing with your unit, though Cynthia is still going to be your point of contact. I'm just jumping on. I had the chance to speak with the chairman about some of the revisions to the regs, and happy to further that conversation. But again, Cynthia is still your point person as far as legal goes.
Okay.
But it's a pleasure to meet you all.
Good.
Nice to meet you.
So if we've got someone to take minutes as needed, then we can get going, right? Anyone, are we waiting for anything else?
Aaron, if you want to get started, that would be great. And then hopefully Shannon will join us shortly.
Okay,
Thank you, Aaron.
okay. Well, I'm Larry Willett. It is September 20th, 2022 at about 9:40. And I'm calling to order the quarterly board meeting of the Home Inspector Licensing Board. So has everyone had a chance to review the minutes from our June 14th meeting?
I did. I didn't see any changes that we
Okay.
need to make.
Okay. Didn't hear. It. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
Second.
Second, okay. All approved?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay. Minutes have been approved. All right. All right, so on our agenda, we have comments or concerns by anyone present today. Do we have any comments or concerns by anyone? Okay. We have the DCP Investigation Division, their complaint status report. Is anyone providing information on that? We did get a printout.
Yes, Pamela Brown, Director of Investigations.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions about the report? Do you have any comments, Pamela, for us about the report?
No, the report is pretty much self-explanatory.
Right.
We have closed two and we have two that remain open.
Okay. On a previous issue or question we had, and it had to do with Investigation Division, had to do with a home inspector being questioned, but a complaint had not been filed with the department. And the question was, can an inspector be proactive and ask the department to initiate an investigation? So that came up at our last meeting, and in the minutes, we have discussion on that. And it said, the last sentence was that it was agreed by the board to ask this question of the department and wait for their response. So has that been discussed at all, or did that question come up for you guys, Pamela?
No, the question has not come up, but we typically in our purview is to handle complaints filed by the customer of the home inspector, the client of the home inspector.
Okay,
However, we can have some dialogue with that home inspector if they need some guidance, though we could not give legal advice to them. So they might need to, if they're in the middle of a civil matter, they might need to consult with an attorney. But we're happy to just have an informal conversation.
okay, but an investigation would not be done, you know, for lack of a better word, on behalf of the inspector.
No, because we are representing the statute. We're not representing any one individual. So it's the law. So we're not going to, lean one way or the other. So if they're looking for some kind of contracts, assistance with the legal end of it for their contracts or a complaint, then they would probably need to consult with an attorney.
Okay, okay, because the reports that we've written or that we've read have indicated as a result that there would be no violation, which was found. And the reason this came up from someone was that might be beneficial. I mean, it's not, it's just a report from the department saying that there was no violation. And that might be beneficial to the inspector. I mean, but we're saying that that would be not the norm or not be done.
Not to open investigation.
Okay.
On behalf of the inspector. But is this a closed case? You can email me if you want. I can look
No,
at.
this isn't involving any case. This is just a
Okay.
question from an inspector. And he just thought that it would be beneficial if the case did move forward, but the people didn't file a complaint with the department, to have a report from the department saying he didn't do anything wrong. I mean, it could help in maybe making the whole thing go away. So that's why he asked me about it, and I didn't know. So I'll get back to him and saying that the inspector cannot initiate an investigation through the department.
No, because he's actually initiating investigation against himself. And we usually handle complaints. So if he has something that's, I mean, usually it falls down to, goes back to the contract.
Yeah.
So we might need to
Okay.
consult with an attorney.
Okay. That's good. We can move on from there then. And there's nothing else that, yeah, you said the report is pretty self-explanatory. We have some old business. One of the things I wanted to ask about, and it was in old business, are in-person meetings. Are we going to move in that direction at some point? I mean, Bob, we had, this had come up before, so I just threw it in as some old business. Does anyone have any information on that in any way?
Larry, I don't.
Okay. Okay, I know we have a hearing scheduled coming up, and I think it's in November.
Right, that's right. This is Cynthia. I haven't heard anything about hearings and meetings being conducted in person yet. And as of now, that hearing is scheduled to be done on Teams online.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I personally would like to, we're gonna have a hearing on someone and decide on them. I would certainly like a face-to-face meeting, but that's not gonna happen. Doesn't sound like. Okay,
I honestly don't know if it's even possible. I can, ask some more questions and see if anyone is moving in that direction, or even if things in general are not being done in person, if a hearing can be done in person. I'm not sure, but I can ask some questions.
yeah, okay. We have an update on the status of the revisions to the regulations. And Ryan Burns had mentioned that we spoke a week or so ago about a couple of changes or additions to the amendments, and they sounded okay to me, make sense. And the
So
revisions were, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I can pull them up on the screen if everyone would like
Okay,
to see them at
yeah,
once, so we can
that'd
run
be
through
great.
them. Okay.
That'd be great. Yep.
Okay. Hope this works. Okay. Everyone can see that?
Yep.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Okay, if you'd like, we can run through each one of the most recent changes and.
I don't know that we have to do that, Cynthia, because in our discussion, it was with Leslie O'Brien and Ryan Burns, that everything looked okay, except for some changes to 2491-10. I believe that's where the changes came in, and that was the only change. There were two changes in that section. And Ryan or Leslie, I believe you're on board here. If that's incorrect, then of course just jump in. But I think we just had these two things to review.
I believe we also talked a bit about the instant hot water heaters. I don't think that's an issue. We added that to items
Right,
that were excluded.
You added that over, and that looked good.
Yeah. So
Okay.
not that I think it's controversial, but that was an area that we also discussed as a change.
Okay. Okay.
But I think this is the section that I think required the most attention and probably will generate the most conversation.
Right. And the change started with at C, the inspector shall report on. And if we move to number 5, which is the language in the statute, whether the inspector is able to test warning equipment. And number 6 was added. So if the warning equipment has been tested, the method of testing and the result of such test. So that's what the inspector has to report. And then number 7 was always in there. And then D was added, saying that if the inspector does not test warning equipment, the inspector shall prominently disclose in the inspection report that no testing of warning equipment was conducted. And so that's, that's in the regs. That'll be in the regs. I think every inspector is probably doing that now who's not doing any testing. They're saying so. But this provides some more support in that, being that it's actually going to be in the regs. So any comments or questions about that from anybody?
Well, I think that's a good thing to be in there. That's.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I expect that inspectors are providing, considerably more information besides that they didn't test anything, recommendations and so on. So I think that might cover, if there's no questions or further discussions on that. That may cover the old business. Anybody have anything else?
Nothing I can
Okay.
think of.
Okay. Under new business, the only thing that's come up a little bit or recently is some new water regulations that were coming out of the Department of Health, I believe. So some inspectors have had some questions about what they're supposed to be doing, or if they're going to be allowed to continue taking samples of water and then getting them to the respective labs. And from what I read in the new changes, and from discussing with, the lab that I use, most of the responsibility changes are going to be on them to report to the local health departments, the test results. And as far as us being able to test or draw samples, I was told that as long as we've been trained and are approved by the lab, then we would be approved by the health department as well. So I don't see any changes in what we're doing. Mark, I know you had brought this up before. Have you run into anything else?
No, the lab I use also had a similar comment that it was mostly going to fall on them. And their concern was that there may be some inspectors that are out there that are doing water sampling without the proper training, but they're limiting on their end whether or not they're going to accept samples from people that don't follow the procedures that they put out. So I don't see it changing too much for any of our guys.
Right. Okay. Okay. That was really the only thing I had with new business. Did anyone else have anything else? Any questions about anything? Any correspondence about anything? Any comments or concerns from anyone present today?
No, not me.
Okay. I guess that covers our stuff. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Okay.
second it.
Okay, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Okay. I think that does it for us.
Take care, everyone.
All right.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
good day.
you. Thank you.
Everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for
Enjoy the rest of your
joining
day.
us. Thank everyone for joining us.
Okay.
Thank you for your patience.